Hey YouTube, this is Nordic Brit Prepper. I'm back to you from a very long absence. I'm not going to bore you with the details about the absence. Several things went on. If you're interested, just leave me a comment below and I'll get back to you about it. But one part of the absence was I was away for 6 months in Ecuador. And basically now I'm back here in Sweden. It's winter and I've got my prepping hat back on. Not literally, of course, but one of the issues that we have as preppers is finding a good deal, and I'm a sucker for a good deal, and pretty much every one of you should be a sucker for a good deal. And one of the areas that I put off a lot, because one, I'm a pretty much a kind of gear junkie when it comes to camping and outdoor stuff. I leave not very much stuff for home, and one of those areas has always been my food preps. Now I'm pretty good at buying good deals when it comes to food, like pasta and so on. But when it comes to storing the food for a long time, that becomes a problem. Because I'm always, I'm really put off by buying expensive brands of food storage solutions. I have one product here that I've been using for several years, which I'm not happy with, and I'm going to show you now. This is a food saver. And it's a very small one. It's very nice in terms of its size, and it just charges up with a simple cable into the wall, and you press this button here and it sucks the air out of the package. The packages come pre-made like this food saver. As you can see, it's been used for a long time. I don't know if you can see it clearly on the camera, but there's a small square here. It's like a folded plastic, hard plastic that will suck the air out when you use the food saver and doesn't let the air come in. However, over time, air slowly gets in. Now, I haven't had any feedback from food saver about how long-term this is meant to be, whether they intended this for short-term food storage. If that's the case, then as far as long-term food storage, this is not going to be a good solution. I've had several of these bags, and these plastic things have come off on some of those bags, which has rendered them useless. And as many times as I've used this bag, what I put in there, eventually air gets in, and that's annoying. So I don't use this anymore, because it doesn't serve the purpose that I want. And since I store food, and I want to store food for a good amount of time, I try to look out for good deals, and there are food savers that are bigger, vacuum sealers and so on, and those are fine, except they're expensive, and we all know how expensive food saver and other brands similar to food saver are, and I'm not willing to fork out somewhere around the region of like $100 or more for a good vacuum sealer, basically, because there are so many solutions out there. One of the solutions is to use something like that with a Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers, and then iron the Mylar bag shut, which is fine. I've got some bags away like that. But if you want to get all of the air out and you want to make sure that your food is lasting the absolute longest, then you need a vacuum sealer that will suck the air out and seal the bag for you. And I'm one of those kind of people who like to try out cheap versions of stuff, especially when it comes to simple items such as a vacuum sealer, and order them from China. And there's a very popular item on eBay, and it's a Chinese vacuum sealer, and it comes in a box like this. I'm not going to bother you with trying to find the name of this. I'll post a link in the description to show you where I bought this particular one, and they're very small, really small. I'm going to bring the camera around to the table because I think that's going to be a much better view for you to see this, and I'm going to show it in action and show you some products that I've used to seal this up with, and I'm going to bring this camera closer and then we'll go through it from there. Okay, we're here at my table now, and I'm going to show you this food saver in action. I'm just going to call it a food saver because we do that with several things, just like a Hoover and a vacuum cleaner and so on. This is the kind of vacuum food saver. It's from China. This cost about $25 with shipping. I mean, it's a really good deal, and when you see it in action, I think you'll be surprised at how good it is. And I'm going to show you some of the other bags I mean, it comes with some bags, but you can use other bags. When I was in Ecuador, I bought these. These are made of plantain, banana chips, and this just gives you an example of like just how tight this bag seals. It's absolutely airtight, I mean completely, and this was sealed about 2.5-3 months ago, and it doesn't show any sign at all of air getting in, which is exactly what you want. So that's just something I did a few months ago. Just a quick look. This is the box it comes in, as I showed you earlier. It's already opened. I'm not going to bother you with unboxings and so on. So it comes really well packaged. It comes with some instructions. It comes with quite a number of bags. I think I counted at least 10, but you know, it could vary. But there's about 10 bags, and they're quite a good size. They're about this size. I mean, so they're good for small storage. So I mean, they work. And it comes with those. But when I ordered it, I also ordered a roll of bags like this, and they're long, and you can cut them to size, which is brilliant. So, and they're also really cheap. And one of the problems I have with Food Saver is, whilst you don't need to use their branded bags, it's the whole like kind of moral ethical thing behind it. It's like they feel the need to have like kind of branded bags that are ridiculously overpriced in comparison to other bags which do the same job, and so basically that's why I don't bother with that. And not to mention the devices themselves are expensive. So I mean, if Food Saver were to come around and just price their bags the same as other bags, that would be fine, but they don't. So here is this vacuum sealer. And so today when I was in the store, I found some pasta at a really good price. I eat a lot of pasta. As a vegan, I don't eat like a lot of other stuff, and pasta is one of my main staples of carbs, and I eat a lot of it, and I store a lot of it away. I don't like to store in huge bags. I prefer to have it in small bags, and even this is like, this will be a good size. However, packaged bags like this, the air quality, the air will get in eventually, so we have to deal with that, and that's what this video is today. I'm going to seal this, and I figured I would make a video and show you the Chinese version of the Food Saver. It's called a Fresh Pack Pro. I don't know who comes up with these names, I guess. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that pasta, I'm going to put it in a bag, and I'm going to seal it for you. And then I'm going to show you some Mylar bags that are not designed for this at all, and seal that and show you. And I'm going to give you a few specs on this one. And I hope that this video will give you a really good piece of information about how you can save money on what is considered fairly expensive items for a really, really good purpose. Whether you're storing food for a short time or for a long term, if you're a prepper like me and other people, this is perfect. And I'm going to show you this now. So first, we're going to take one of these bags. We're going to use one of these. And they come with a crimpled side, and they come with a kind of a smooth side. And when you put it in there, we put it in there with the crimpled side down, and the reason for that is because you've got these slight crimples that allows for air channels to push through. So we're going to take some pasta, and I'm going to put some in. I might edit this throughout the video if I spill some on the floor, because that would be embarrassing. So let's say that's half a bag roughly. So we've got half a bag there, like that. And don't want to overfill the bags, that's normal. But we're going to do this. I'm going to bring the camera just slightly closer now to the Food Saver, and then you can get a better look of what it is. So here we are closer to the Food Saver. I hope it looks okay for you. So this is how it is. It's not very big, as you can see. Here's my hand on it. It shows you it's not very big. So I'm just going to get on and show you this. It's very simple. There's a simple button for turning it on. The instructions are super simple to follow. So there are two clips on the side like this. Just open them up like that, and then open it. Now the good thing about this is quite a specific size. This is about 11 inches, or about 28 centimeters. So any bags that are that size or smaller will fit in this perfectly. And then you've got the bar here which works after for sealing it. So we're going to take this. I'm going to place the bag in like that, halfway in, and then hold it. This is the only slightly awkward bit. Hold it, and then when you place the bag in, just make sure it's there, and crimp it shut. Then press the green button and wait for it to seal. And after it's sealed, it will make a red light, and that's when you can take it off. It's still sucking air out. Still sucking air out. Now the red light's gone on and it's sealed. Just give it a second. And that is absolutely tight. It's so good. And then you open it up like so. And there you go. Sealed here. You can feel it slightly warm there. It's done. It's completely melted there, and it's sealed it right through. I mean, and you can hear it crinkling and crackling when it was doing it. I mean, it just absolutely did such a good job with this. Yeah, I mean, this is brilliant. I mean, it's gonna make this pasta last a long time. The only thing I'll say when you're doing things like pasta is to deal with any sharp edges, so on, so it doesn't perforate the bag. If this bag is perforated, it doesn't matter. I'm just doing this as a test. But in general, when you're going to vacuum seal things with sharp edges, just take into account any sharp edges. But you know, with this in mind, I can look through and see that there is it doesn't seem to be any holes in the bag anyway, so this worked fine. So anyway, this is sealing the bag in the bags that they come with. These are the bags that they come with, like 10 of them, and you could reseal these if you want to and just cut the top off. But also, it works with these. These are Mylar bags. Also, these ones aren't the best quality Mylar bags. This was something I tried out a few years ago. These are Chinese also, but they were really cheap, and as long as you store away your food good, vacuum seal it and so on, then you've got no worries. Normally I would use these. I keep them in a jar. These are oxygen absorbers, and I would pack them in individually and then seal it up with an iron. However, now we've got one of these, I don't need to buy those anymore, and we can use this instead. So I'm going to put some pasta in and then do the same thing again. So we have the pasta in there. It's not very much in there, but I'm doing this as a test. And so I'll put it in again, like so. Shut the bag. Crimp it shut. And suck the air out. As you can see, these bags, Mylar bags, are great with this vacuum sealer because you can seal it really well instead of using an iron. If you want to vacuum seal the air out of these Mylar bags, then you're going to need to put in some oxygen absorbers, or you're going to need to create some kind of platform or a gap here that's going to allow for the air to come out. This is why these bags have air channels in them to allow the air to be sucked out. The vacuum sealers work by detecting whether or not they're actually being able to suck air out, and it creates a negative pressure on it. And if it doesn't think that anything is coming out, it will start the sealing process. So long as that there is pressure coming out of the bag, then it will allow it to continue for that to happen. However, if there isn't, then it's going to seal. So flat bags such as this won't work unless you have ridged Mylar bags, which I've never seen before. So if anyone's seen any of those, please leave me a comment below. I hope this video has been helpful. I'm probably going to get some kind of questions regarding the food saver. It's very simple. You can find some stuff online, probably on YouTube, about the type of food saver and other food saver ones, but probably everyone will be in agreement that they are expensive and this is not, and it serves the purpose brilliantly. So I hope this has been very helpful. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and you know, let me know in the comments or message me if you want to see any more in the future, and I look forward to you in the next video.